Hey there guys, John here, and thanks for checking out this special user-submitted question video here on the channel. You see, every day on the John Campea Show, in the second half of the show, we take live questions, but every once in a while, somebody sends in like a really big tip, like $50 or more. And when they do, I like to honor that by not only answering the question on the show, but also answering it in its own standalone video. So let's get right to it. And this one comes to us from Dylan Knight, who writes, regarding the new Star Wars films, the Clone Wars show depicted Yoda facing his shadow, or a dark side kind of version of him, one basic Jungian model of the psyche, meaning no Jedi before then was fully actualized. Do you think they'll contradict this canon to give us character development in these new films upcoming? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And for those of you wondering, what is a Jungian model? So basically, Carl Jung, he had this theory, I guess you could say, that we all maintain deep in our subconscious memories of our ancestors that get passed on either genetically or through some other sort of mechanism. And these things became known as Jungian archetypes. And archetypes can be very, very powerful things. In this episode of Clone Wars, so Yoda's been sent on this mission basically by Qui-Gon, trying to figure out the whole idea of manifesting as a Force ghost, that sort of stuff. He meets these Force priestesses, they get sent him all these trials, and one of the things he finds in a cave is Gollum. Sorry, it's not Gollum, it's just very much like Gollum. It's a dark side representation of his inner self. The basic idea was this, that Yoda had to come to the realization that just because he was a Jedi didn't mean there was no such thing as the dark side in him. He had to learn that the dark side was there in every living creature. He just had to not give it power and reject it. But it had to be rejected actively, and he has this battle with it and all that kind of stuff. Now, this could be a direct connection to what we saw in The Empire Strikes Back when Yoda sends Luke down into the cave and he ends up facing Vader. What he thought was Vader, cuts off his head, turns out it was Luke's face underneath that. It also could be a reflection of what we saw in The Rise of Skywalker as Rey goes into the throne room chamber to find a dark version of herself wielding a double-sided lightsaber, which turned out to be a great deceptive thing that they showed in the teaser trailer because it got everybody all excited that maybe we're going to see dark side Rey, but whatever. Is this going to become a major player in the Star Wars game? Well, you could almost make the argument that the Luke trial in the cave and the Rey thing already kind of points to the idea of yes. However, it is interesting to note that in none of the new Star Wars movies, other than those incidents that can be interpreted other ways, there's never really been any direct reference to those lessons that Yoda learned. There's never really been any direct reference to, what he did in that cave with this fight against Gollum. I mean his dark side self. There's never really been any reference to that. So my kind of feeling is this, and I don't know this, and we're not talking about whether Lucasfilm should or should not embrace it. We're not talking about shoulds. We're talking about what do I think they will do. What I think they will do is kind of adopt a position of ignoring it. I don't think they're going to contradict it, but I also don't think they're going to acknowledge it any further. Now, as we get this new season of Clone Wars, they might reference it there, and that would make sense since this is the originating medium of which it occurred. But other than that, I don't know that we're ever going to see it play out one way or the other in any of the new movies moving forward. Again, I'm not making an argument that they should or should not. I'm simply saying we've gone 5 films in, depending on how you interpret that Luke in the cave or Rey in the chamber situation, you can almost say that there hasn't been any real mention of it so far. So I don't know that they're going to change paths from that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that that event in the Clone Wars is going to become a significant thing moving forward into future Star Wars movies? Or do you think it's going to be something they continue to just kind of gloss over and pretend it didn't happen? I don't know. What do you think they're going to do? Jump on down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys, that'll do it for this video. Thanks a lot for being here. My name is John Campea, and until next time, bye-bye.